Hello everyone. In this video, I would like to discuss the differences between a conservative and a liberal and try to present them both sides as positively as I can so that we can understand each other and better understand where the other people are coming from. So I made a list of some of the differences. These are generalizations. No one is a pure conservative. No one is a pure liberal. There's always going to be some crossover here. But I think generally this does help us understand what it is to be a conservative, what it means to be a liberal. So starting off, conservatives tend to belong to the Republican Party, whereas liberals tend to belong to the Democratic Party. Conservatives want smaller government. Less government is better, whereas liberals believe government needs to be involved in many aspects of our lives. Conservatives like lower taxes and less regulation, where liberals tend to be more progressive in their ideas. They also like a lot of social freedom to do whatever they want to do on a social level. This often means how you express your sexuality. They don't want the government involved, and they want legal drugs. Just the social aspects of government doesn't need to be involved in that. Conservatives tend to be entrepreneurs. They start businesses. They take the risk. They put up the capital. They start a business, and they are going for profits. Conservatives tend to like tradition, whereas, again, liberals tend to be more progressive and new ideas coming in. Conservatives like to see themselves as being very practical. Will it work? Where liberals are very idealistic and they want to try new things to make society better. Conservatives value the individual, not so much your expression of who you are, but more the individual is responsible for their own welfare and their own development. Whereas liberals often find a group identity to be beneficial, whether it's along ethnic lines or you join a union, but group identity is really important to many liberals. When it comes to government involvement, it's always going to be a balancing act. We certainly need government, and too much government isn't good, and not enough government isn't good. And really, here's a metaphor to help you understand. So what if the government built the racetrack and then entrepreneurs build the race cars? That's a perfect harmony of government's involvement in helping entrepreneurs build new things. So here's a breakdown of taxes, and this is certainly a big oversimplification. But in countries with a high tax rate, which usually is around 50%, and let's say this represents a garden or a business that you started, and the government comes and takes half of your profits, well, the argument is this inhibits people from wanting to start businesses or grow. In this case, let's just call this a garden. Whereas if taxes are lower, you get more profits, you're more likely to start a second garden. And the conservative argument, if you take the taxes from both of these gardens, it would about equal the garden that under a more liberal government. Not only would the individual have more profit, they're more likely to produce more produce for people, put people to work more. But these taxes are really what is the key to how big you want government. We do need government. We need a military to protect us. We need first responders. We need infrastructures like roads, bridges. We want schools, libraries, and if you do fall upon hard times, some kind of relief or welfare system to keep this population going. Conservatives are going to say, we want government, but we want to start at the local level. And if we can't solve it at the local level, then we'll move on to the state. And if the state can't answer or solve the problem, then finally we'll go to the federal government. Liberals tend to do it the other way. They want leadership from the federal government that will trickle down to the state and then eventually the local government. Perhaps the biggest takeaway from this video, I hope, is that you understand that conservatives are not all racist, homophobic, sexist, or cold-hearted. That is a stereotype, and it's unfair, and it's untrue. Likewise, liberals are not snowflakes, communists, hippies, or hopeless dreamers. That is also not true. People come from a different perspective of how and what the role of government should be in our daily lives. And it's an important question, and many people will, over the course of their lifetime, drift and become more liberal, or liberals will become more conservative, or there's fluidity here. There is no, there's a famous quote by, I've heard it from Winston Churchill, if anyone in their 20s is not a liberal, they have no heart. And if anyone by 40 is not a conservative, they have no brain. Liberals tend to start with younger people, and older people tend to become more conservative. Again, this is a generalization. There are plenty of young conservatives, and there are plenty of old liberals. So it's a big generalization, and I wanted to present this to you because I just think we get so caught up in calling each other names and disrespecting each other that we really don't understand where liberals are coming from and where conservatives are coming from. Well, hopefully this was helpful to you, and I'd love to get your feedback and comments, so let me know how I can improve this. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.